we'll move on to some of the features that you can see from the outside of a monarch. And we'll go back to its head. Now, if any of you have seen a monarch up close feeding at a flower, you'll notice that it has a long curled, what's called a proboscis. And that proboscis is actually two separate mouth parts that fuse together almost like a zipper that create a hollow tube between the two of them. So they're two C-shaped, they're galliae, or each one's a gallia, and it's part of an insect's mouth that is usually called they're called maxilla. And then they're usually maxillary palps, but they're very reduced. So let's curl this up as best we can. It curls up and sort of tucks away and is protected until it's needed. And the way that they unfurl it is by pumping saliva, probably saliva and some hemolymph into it to sort of inflate the canals inside of it and push it on. This is working out just fine. We got a proboscis coming off of the end of our butterfly. Now, other things that you see sticking out by the mouth that I mentioned just a little bit earlier are what are referred to as its palps. It's labial palps. And you'll sometimes see those right up against the face out front of the proboscis. And they look almost like what you would call little feelers. And we'll try to make those out of this pipe cleaner. An interesting thing about insects' mouth parts is I guess what you would call the genetic makeup of insects' mouth parts is similar to what makes up their legs. So a lot of them function independently like legs. They're articulated like an insect's legs. Try to get the second palp in there. And given that they're like their legs, that's why there's usually one of each mouth part. So now we've got a proboscis and palps.